The honourable member for Regina Capel.
Common sense Conservatives will axe the tax, fix the budget, build the homes, and stop the crime. This NDP-Liberal Prime Minister is proving that he's not worth the cost, the crime, or the corruption. Now, the NDP are pretending to be outraged by the ArriveCan scandal, but the Liberals didn't have enough votes to get the funding through Parliament, so the NDP came to the rescue and 8 times voted to keep funding no-show jobs and IT work that was never done. Common sense Conservatives voted no. Had the NDP and Bloc done the same, ArriveCan would never have happened. So does the NDP-Liberal coalition deal require the NDP to fund Liberal corruption?
The honourable member for Public Works.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. This question has already received multiple answers. The fact that it's coming from the former Speaker of the House, Mr. Speaker, is obviously a bit strange. He would know that if he needs to ask questions to the NDP, I am not, and we are not on this side of the good people, the right people to answer those questions. I would invite our colleague to ask the questions to the right people.
The honourable member from Regina Capel.
It's his government's deal with the NDP, Mr. Speaker.
The honourable member from Leeds Grenville, Rideau Lakes, Thousand Islands.
On one hand, common sense Conservatives will axe the tax, build the homes, fix the budget, and stop the crime. On the other hand, after 8 years, we have an NDP Liberal Prime Minister who isn't worth the cost, the crime, or the corruption, but he needed support for his $60 million ArriveCan. And where did he get it? From the costly cover-up coalition NDP. Right. Now, what Canadians want to know in this scandal that cost them millions is what did these Liberals promise the NDP in exchange for their vote to support the corruption of this government?
The Honourable Parliamentary Secretary to the Minister for Public Safety.
Mr. Speaker, when it comes to the issue of allegations of misconduct in the procurement process, we take that very seriously. On the other hand, you see the Conservatives contorting themselves to come up with catchy slogans. While they do so, we're actually doing the work to get to the bottom of what happened here because, Mr. Speaker, anyone who acted inappropriately, there will be consequences, and we have already committed, the President of the CBSA has already implemented changes, but the Conservatives can stick to their slogans.
The honourable member from Leeds Grenville, Thousand Islands and Rideau Lakes.
Well, it won't fit on a bumper sticker, but that member and everyone over there voted against the common sense Conservative motion calling for the Auditor General to investigate their corruption. And corruption is exactly what they found, and that's what they get on that side of the House. On this side of the House, they have common sense Conservatives who will axe the tax and build the homes and fix the budget and stop the crime. So why did the NDP support these Liberals with the $60 million ArriveCan that saw Liberal insiders working in their basement getting paid millions while Canadians line up at their food banks? What did the Liberals promise the NDP?
The Honourable Parliamentary Secretary to the Minister of Public Safety.
Mr. Speaker, on the contrary, we support the work being done by the Auditor General, including the Information Commissioner. We want to get to the bottom of what happened here. Mr. Speaker, the CBSA President has been very forthright in sharing information with the committee. The Minister has spoken with her as well, ensuring that information is being shared because we welcome this work. And as I have said many times in this House, Mr. Speaker, any misconduct in the procurement process will come with consequences.
The honourable member from Brantford Grant.
Mr. Speaker, while common sense Conservatives will axe the tax, build the homes, fix the budget, and stop the crime, the NDP Liberal Prime Minister is not worth the cost, crime, or corruption after 8 years. Canadians are sick and tired of seeing the NDP leader pretend to be outraged over the ArriveCan. Let me remind the House that the Prime Minister needed votes to keep funding his $60 million ArriveCan, and the NDP came to their rescue. Joining Conservatives and voting no would have saved Canadians tens of millions of dollars.
Hear, hear.
Does the coalition between the Prime Minister and the NDP require them to fund the ArriveCan?
Hear, hear. The Honourable Government House Leader.
I think it'd be useful, Mr. Speaker, if we just move on from the slogans written in the Leader's office for one moment while I address another issue that would actually help Canadians today. On this order paper, Bill C-35, which will guarantee lower child care costs for every single mother and father in this country. That can pass on a voice vote today. Well, that member, instead of taking his orders from the leader, walk down the office to the leader's office and tell him, pass C-35, bring down child costs today for Canadians.
The honourable member from Brantford Grant.
This member stands for the rights of Canadians and getting to the heart of this $60 million Arrive scam. They voted yes at least 8 times to give tens of millions of cost overruns, money-for-nothing contracts to shell companies, including $20 million contract to a two-person basement business that wrote the terms for their own contract. This Prime Minister is not worth the cost nor the corruption. I'll ask again, what did they have to do to get them to require them to fund the Arrive scam?
The Honourable Government House Leader.
Well, I see that answer had a little effect, but I would again encourage my honourable colleague, instead of taking all the inbound invective and all the rage farming from the leader's office, that he trudge back down that long hallway to his leader's office and say, Mr. Leader, you know what we can do today? We can bring down dental care costs for Canadians by passing the bill of the fall economic statement that will help seniors, that will help poor families, that will help children in this country. We can have an impact today on Canadians' lives. Stand up and vote for Canadians.
The honourable member from Sherwood Park, Fort Saskatchewan.
After 8 years, Canadians know that this NDP-Liberal government is not worth the cost or the corruption.
Right.
With NDP help, these Liberals gave at least $20 million to a two-person company during the Arrive scam scandal for no work done, and Canadians want their money back. Meanwhile, the Auditor General found a stark absence of documentation. Reports now show that tens of thousands of emails were illegally deleted. Will the Prime Minister and his NDP partners responsible for this scandal stand up and tell us when they will release the documents that are missing?
Going to encourage all members to please not take the floor when they are not recognized by the chair, so that the chair and all members can hear the questions and the answers. The Honourable Parliamentary Secretary to the Minister of Public Safety.
Mr. Speaker, while the Conservatives want to pretend that this is an issue that the government doesn't take seriously, we do. Mr. Speaker, we are very concerned about these documents, and that is precisely why we support the Information Commissioner's decision to review this matter. And Mr. Speaker, CBSA has already indicated that they will work with the Information Commissioner on providing any information they have. As I've said before, we want to get to the bottom of this, and any wrongdoing will come with consequences.